But the company should never depend on Jack Ma. Company should depend on a system for leadership, a culture, people. And that is what we believe. And this is what we learn from those great companies in America, those great companies in Japan. It's the culture, it's the people, it's the system that keep the company last 102 years. It's not only one person, that we think. When you learn the mistakes, the failure cases, not to avoid mistakes, but when you meet these mistakes, you know how to face it, how to solve it, how to challenge it. So it's all bad. This is called wisdom. This is we should teach our kids. Physics, teamwork is important. Painting is important. Dancing is important. Because when you sing, when you dance, those people sing, dance, painting with the heart. They are the artists. They are the people. They don't use brain, they use heart. So I want people, when you know the music, you know how to solve the problems when you face. Because music, you connect to the soul, connect to the heaven. When you have a painting, you have the imagination. When you have dancing, you know the rhythm. So these are the things. And we should teach people a lot of things, the human knowledge. They want to join the MBA school, so I called my MBA school, so yeah, please, I've got 2 people recommend, because they wanted me to recommend. I said, these 2 guys go. So they go, they took a test, both failed. They turn back. And I say, what? And then I called the president and say, what's wrong? He said, these guys cannot even pass the exams for math. They're not good at taking exams. I say, sir, if they're good at taking exams, they will never be entrepreneurs. Right? Most of entrepreneurs, because they're schooling bad, they become a business people. We teach our kids independent thinking. We teach our kids to survive in the digital period. We teach our kids to how to be innovative, constructive, and creative so they can survive in the AI period. That is, I think, I want to do more things about that.
The first piece of advice I want to share is the importance of always being prepared for the future. Many people prefer to think that the future is distant, something they can deal with later. But the truth is, the future arrives faster than we expect, and those who aren't prepared for it are left behind. When I started Alibaba, I knew the internet would have a transformative impact, even though most people around me doubted it at the time. I told my team, you must plan for the next 10 years, not just for tomorrow. If we want to thrive, we need to understand that the world is constantly moving, and it's up to us to move with it. Some people become so comfortable in the present that they ignore the transformations happening around them. This is a common trap. We cling to what is safe and familiar, but forget that the future demands evolution. Think about it. How many professions are disappearing or rapidly changing because of technology? Have you asked yourself what skills you need to learn to avoid becoming irrelevant? More importantly, how are you preparing today for tomorrow's challenges? Emotional intelligence, creativity, and the ability to innovate are qualities that machines can't replace. So, how are you developing these abilities? Many people wait for the perfect moment to act, and I understand the security of the present is tempting. But if I had waited for the perfect opportunity to start Alibaba, I might still be teaching English in a classroom. The future waits for no one. It is like a high-speed train, and those who hesitate miss the chance to board. For that reason, you must look ahead and ask yourself, what am I doing today to prepare myself? What skills am I building to adapt to what's coming? Intelligence is not just about hard work. It's about being strategic and seeing beyond the immediate. Being prepared for the future also means identifying opportunities where others see problems. When I launched Alibaba, China's digital infrastructure was almost non-existent. The internet was virtually unknown, and people laughed at the idea of e-commerce in that environment. But where they saw impossibilities, I saw a chance to create something grand that no one had the courage to try. That's why it's crucial to adopt a mindset that sees challenges as stepping stones to success. If you look at the future and only see problems, you'll get stuck in fear and inaction. But if you see opportunities, you'll open doors that no one else has. So, the question is, how are you preparing for the future? Are you acting or merely reacting to what's happening around you? Remember, the future belongs to those who plan for it and build it with determination. And for that, you cannot wait for perfect conditions. You need to act now, because the world won't pause for you to adjust. The secret is taking responsibility for your own growth and always being one step ahead. The second piece of advice is the danger of staying stuck in the past. Many people cling to old methods and ideas, believing that if something worked before, it will always work. But the world changes, and technology and innovation require constant reinvention. When we started Alibaba, we knew we couldn't rely on the old ways of doing business. We had to think differently, innovate, and adapt. Staying stuck in the past is like riding a bicycle while only looking backward. Eventually, you lose balance and fall. People often ask why I believe so strongly in change, and I say, if not now, when? If not me, who? It's important to act with courage and challenge yourself to try new ways of doing things. Keep your mind open and update your skills, because what worked 5 years ago may be irrelevant tomorrow. The past teaches us, but the future demands growth. Transformation is the only constant in the business world, and technology is always one step ahead. So the question is, are you reinventing yourself or clinging to what you already know? It's common to find people who insist on strategies that are no longer effective. They resist change out of fear of the unknown, believing that what worked before still holds value. But as I often say, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Change starts with you and your willingness to leave the past behind and adapt to what the present and future demand. Look at your career, your business, and ask yourself, what outdated methods am I using that no longer make sense? And more importantly, how can I update them? I understand that change can be scary, but the truth is those who remain stuck in what they know without the willingness to transform end up limiting themselves. In today's world, we need to be agile, ready to learn and unlearn quickly. Those who stick to old formulas are just postponing the inevitable, the need for change. That's how Alibaba grew. We were always willing to try new things, even if it meant failing a few times. Innovation only happens when we let go of the past and allow ourselves to be bold. So, my biggest advice is don't hold on to the past. The past is there to learn from, not to live in. If you want to grow, you need to be willing to change your ways of thinking and acting. Reinvent yourself, update your skills, and challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. Success doesn't come from holding on to the familiar, but from adapting to what is new and using those changes to your advantage. The third piece of advice is about the fear of taking risks. It's natural to feel insecure when faced with the unknown, but fear is one of the greatest enemies of progress. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you must have the courage to take risks, especially between the ages of 30 and 40, a crucial period for growth and innovation. When I started Alibaba, everything was a big risk. I had no experience, I didn't know much about technology, and honestly, most people around me thought the idea of e-commerce in China was crazy. But I knew that if I didn't try, I would never discover the true potential of that project. It's common for people to prefer staying in their comfort zones, avoiding any situation that might create uncertainty. However, without risks, there is no growth. Think of life as a chess game. Every move comes with uncertainties, but also with the opportunity to win. Risk-taking is fundamental. It's not about taking blind risks, but calculating your steps and being willing to learn from mistakes. True innovation happens when we set fear aside and allow ourselves to try something new. Some people ask, but what if I fail? And I respond, and what if you don't fail and nothing changes anyway? Fear is a prison, and often it paralyzes us, preventing us from exploring new possibilities. I faced rejection countless times before finding success with Alibaba. If I had given up after each no, we would not have reached where we are today. The fear of failure shouldn't be a barrier. It should be seen as a test of our resilience and will to persist. After all, the true failure is never trying at all. Taking risks also involves being prepared for consequences and learning from them. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure an opportunity to improve. When you accept risks, you begin to see challenges as opportunities for personal and professional growth. So, instead of hiding from fear, you become someone who faces and overcomes it. That's what distinguishes those who evolve from those who remain stagnant. Risk is the fuel that drives innovators and creates stories of success. Remember, the greatest achievements begin with a brave step into the unknown. Don't fear taking risks, for in them you will find the strength to reinvent yourself and the courage to transform your life into something extraordinary. The fourth piece of advice is about the value of continuous investment in education. Many people believe that once they've completed school or university, they no longer need to study. But this is a serious mistake. Education is a lifelong process. And if you don't keep updating yourself, you will fall behind. In today's dynamic world, the skills you learned 5 years ago may no longer hold value in the market. When I founded Alibaba, I knew we needed not just technical knowledge, but a mindset focused on continuous learning. Without education, real progress is impossible. One of the biggest traps I see is the belief that success can come from practice alone, without a solid knowledge base. What many don't realize is that in a competitive market, the real difference lies in the skills you bring to the table. If you don't invest in yourself, in courses, reading, or even learning from others, your growth is limited. Instead of just working hard, working smart is what makes the difference. And that requires knowledge and skills that are constantly evolving. Learning has never been as accessible as it is today. With the internet, you can learn practically anything. Yet many people choose to spend their time on meaningless entertainment rather than investing in something that will genuinely bring personal and professional growth. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. If you look at the world's greatest entrepreneurs, they all share one thing in common: a commitment to continuous learning. No matter how successful you become, there is always something new to learn. Education isn't limited to academic knowledge alone. Learning from experiences, mistakes, and most importantly, from other people is essential. I was fortunate enough to find mentors who helped me see the world in ways I couldn't on my own. So, investing in education also means investing in connections, in people who can add value to your journey. What you read, who you talk to, and how open you are to new ideas are crucial aspects that shape who you will become in the future. So, how have you been investing in yourself lately? Are you dedicating time to developing new skills, reading books that expand your mind, or seeking knowledge that can elevate your career? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate your priorities. Invest in yourself, because it's the only investment that can truly change the course of your life for the better. The fifth piece of advice is about the intelligent use of your time, one of the most valuable resources you possess. Many people don't realize how much precious time they waste on activities that add no value to their lives. Social media, mindless entertainment, and procrastination have become part of many people's daily routines, but what they don't realize is that the time spent on trivial things is time they'll never get back. When I founded Alibaba, I knew I needed to prioritize what truly mattered to grow the company, and that required intense focus and discipline in how I used my time. It's easy to get lost in distractions, especially in today's digital world. But if you want to achieve something meaningful, you need to learn to prioritize. Ask yourself, is every activity I engage in daily bringing me closer to my goals or distracting me from them? I like to think of time as an investment. Just as you carefully choose where to put your money for a good return, you should think about how you use your hours and minutes. The activities you choose make a difference and shape the kind of future you will have. When you start valuing your time, you realize that it can be the difference between success and stagnation. Time is the one thing you cannot buy or recover. So why waste something so precious? The key is to be strategic, to know when to say no to things that add no value and when to say yes to opportunities that can transform your life. A great example is setting aside time to read books that promote personal growth, such as Atomic Habits by James Clear, which emphasizes the importance of building effective habits. The secret to making the most of your time is having clarity about what you want and disciplining yourself to focus on it. When you know what your purpose and objective are, it becomes easier to filter distractions and prioritize what really matters. Every moment is a chance to improve yourself, learn something new, or move closer to your dreams. Always ask yourself, is what I am doing now leading me to where I want to go? If the answer is no, it might be time to adjust your course and direct your energy towards something that truly adds value. So, how have you been using your time? Are you investing it like a valuable currency that can take you to the next level? Or are you spending it on distractions that pull you away from your dreams? Remember, every minute counts, and how you choose to use them will define the type of future you'll have. The sixth piece of advice is about the importance of having a clear purpose in life. Many people spend years living without knowing why they do what they do, simply following routines, and because of this, they feel lost or unmotivated. Having a why is essential because it guides your actions and strengthens your resilience in difficult times. In the early days of Alibaba, when we faced challenges and lack of support, what kept us going was our purpose: to use technology to empower small businesses and change lives. Without that, we would have given up at the first obstacle. When you have a purpose, everything makes sense. It's like having a compass that guides your choices, even in the middle of storms. If you're not clear about what you want to achieve or the impact you want to make, it's easy to get lost and give up when challenges arise. Imagine you're in a boat with no direction, sailing in the dark, without a clear purpose. Every wave of difficulty becomes a reason to stop or change course. But when you know where you're going, each challenge becomes an opportunity to get closer to your destination. I believe that finding a purpose is like taking the energy from a dream and turning it into a tangible goal. Someone once asked me how I managed to stay motivated during difficult times, and I said, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This means that to reach your dreams, you need a purpose that acts as your guide. When the reason behind what you do is strong enough, it drives you forward, even when things get tough. And if you don't have this purpose, any obstacle might be enough to make you quit. The key is to discover what truly matters to you, what motivates you, what makes you wake up every day with energy. For some, it might be impacting the lives of others. For others, it could be achieving financial freedom or building something meaningful. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it's genuine and aligns with your values. When you find that purpose, it becomes your source of motivation, giving you the strength to continue regardless of the circumstances. So, have you found your purpose yet? If not, it may be time to pause and reflect on what truly inspires you. When you identify the reason why you're fighting, your path becomes clearer, and even in difficult moments, you know there is a greater reason to persist. Remember, a clear purpose is what differentiates those who merely exist from those who truly live and transform their lives and the world around them. The seventh piece of advice is about the trap of depending solely on a salary. Many people believe that having a fixed job is synonymous with security, but this can actually be a disguised risk. If you rely on only one source of income, you become vulnerable to market changes, economic shifts, and business decisions that are beyond your control. When I began my journey, I quickly realized that depending solely on a salary was not enough to create something truly significant. We need other sources of income and must always be ready for new opportunities. The problem with depending solely on a salary is that it limits your potential. You become a prisoner of a situation where you exchange your time for money. While this may work for a while, it's not sustainable in the long term if you seek freedom and growth. Think about how you can expand your sources of income. Investing in education, acquiring skills that the market values, or even starting small side projects are ways to build something that can provide security in the future. A clear example of this is the growth of e-commerce and digital businesses, a field full of opportunities for those willing to learn and take risks. I remember a time when I was advised to focus solely on my job as an English teacher and not worry about anything else. But if I had accepted that as my only reality, I might still be teaching classes without exploring my true potential. It's essential to understand that the world is full of possibilities, and if you limit yourself to a single source of income, you're closing doors that could change your life. It's not just about seeking money. It's about exploring paths that can provide freedom and security in the future. Creating new sources of income is like planting seeds. At first, you might not see immediate results, but over time, these small side projects can become a fundamental part of your life. I've seen people turn hobbies into profitable businesses or use their skills to build something new and different. The key is to stay alert and look for ways to transform what you know into something that generates value and, consequently, income. In the long run, this makes all the difference. So, what are your sources of income? Are you betting everything on just one, or are you diversifying your opportunities? Don't wait until it's too late to discover that relying on just one way to make money is risky. Invest in yourself, seek new opportunities, and expand your possibilities. True security comes from having multiple options, not depending on just one. The eighth piece of advice is about the importance of having a mentor on your journey. Many people underestimate the value of learning from someone who has already traveled the path they want to follow. Having a mentor is like having a guide who already knows the terrain and can help you avoid the mistakes they themselves made. When I started Alibaba, I had no experience in the technology business, but I always sought to learn from those who had already achieved something significant. A mentor provides valuable shortcuts, shortening the path to success and increasing your chances of growth. Most people, however, try to go it alone, believing they can figure everything out by themselves. While determination is essential, wisdom lies in knowing when to learn from others. A mentor is like a map that shows you where the obstacles are, and this allows you to move forward faster. In my case, I knew I would need guidance to make Alibaba grow, and seeking advice became a crucial part of my progress. Ask yourself, Are you learning from someone who has already achieved what you desire, or are you trying to figure everything out on your own, facing unnecessary difficulties? Additionally, mentors are not just a source of knowledge, they are an inspiration. They show that, despite the difficulties, it is possible to succeed. Once, when I was discouraged by the rejections we faced while trying to raise capital for Alibaba, a mentor told me, "When you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor." Those words reminded me that with the right dream and guidance, even the toughest situations can be overcome. Having someone to inspire you during moments of discouragement can be what keeps you moving when things aren't going well. Finding a good mentor, however, requires openness and humility. Often people don't want to accept that they need help or believe that asking for advice is a sign of weakness. But it's quite the opposite. Seeking mentorship is a sign of intelligence, of someone who wants to grow and is willing to learn. Remember, those who surround themselves with experienced and wise people are the ones who have the greatest chances of advancing quickly. If you want to achieve great things, you need the right people by your side to guide and motivate you. So, have you found your mentor yet? Are you surrounding yourself with people who inspire and teach you? Or are you still trying to walk the path alone? Reflect on this, because as the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. The entrepreneurial journey is easier and more rewarding when you have someone by your side to guide you. The ninth piece of advice I want to share is about the importance of learning from mistakes. Many people see failure as something final, a sign that they're not good enough or that they shouldn't try again. But in reality, mistakes are the best teachers we can have. I was rejected many times before finding success with Alibaba. From universities to job applications, even places like KFC. If I had given up in any of those situations, Alibaba might never have existed. Learning from mistakes is what makes us stronger and more resilient. Failure is an inevitable part of the journey, and avoiding it also means avoiding the chance to grow. The question you should ask yourself is not, how can I avoid mistakes, but rather, what can I learn from them? It's easy to give up at the first sign of difficulty, but true entrepreneurs are those who see each failure as a valuable lesson. When we couldn't attract investors at the start of Alibaba, it forced us to seek new strategies and innovate in our approach. Every no we received was a step closer to the yes we needed. It's crucial to understand that failure is a natural process for those trying something new. If you never fail, it's likely you're not challenging yourself enough. Instead of worrying about avoiding mistakes, focus on learning quickly from them and coming back stronger. In the business world, it's common to face obstacles, but what matters is how you respond to them. The real difference is in the ability to turn a mistake into an opportunity for improvement and growth. The path to success is not linear. It's full of twists and turns, and that's what makes it valuable. Jack Ma frequently shares that one of the secrets to his success was how he handled rejection. With every door that closed, he saw an opportunity to refine his approach and try again. If you approach mistakes with the right mindset, they cease to be obstacles and become stepping stones to the next level. Many of Alibaba's innovations came from lessons learned from past failures. The key is not to be discouraged, but to use each experience as a way to become wiser and more prepared. So, what are your mistakes teaching you? Are you using those lessons to adjust your path, or are you letting them discourage you? Remember that every failure is a chance to grow, and how you respond to those moments defines your future. The next time something doesn't go as planned, don't be disheartened. Use it as a powerful lesson to move forward. Those who learn from their mistakes build a stronger foundation for long-term success. The 10th piece of advice is about the importance of facing challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. In both business and life, challenges are inevitable, and many people see them as reasons to retreat. But challenges are, in fact, disguised opportunities, and avoiding them limits your own growth. When I started Alibaba, we didn't have funding, technology, or government support. We faced difficulties in almost every aspect possible. But instead of running away, we chose to face each challenge as an opportunity to learn and build something greater. Facing challenges is what makes us grow, both personally and professionally. If everything were easy, there would be no evolution. The difficult moments are the ones that shape our character and prepare us for the future. An entrepreneur who shies away from problems misses the chance to develop resilience and creativity, qualities essential for success. I believe that it is in the moments when we are tested that we discover our true strength and ability to innovate. And if you look around, you'll see that many of the greatest innovations and achievements were born amid great challenges. The question you should ask yourself is, are you facing challenges or avoiding them? It's normal to feel fear, but fear should not be a barrier. It should be a fuel that pushes you to go beyond. Remember that challenges are like hurdles in a race. You can stop and complain, or you can find a way to overcome them and keep moving forward. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to see challenges as allies in your growth. At Alibaba, it was often the need to overcome a challenge that led us to find innovative and groundbreaking solutions for the market. I understand that facing challenges can be daunting. It's natural to feel unprepared or that the problem is too big, but these moments are the ones that push us out of our comfort zone and take us to levels of achievement we never imagined. Avoiding challenges is losing the chance to become the best version of yourself. The next time you encounter a difficulty, instead of avoiding it, see it as an opportunity to grow and learn. After all, life is a series of tests, and those who pass them become stronger with each step. Remember, the hardest path is the one that forges the strongest leaders. Every great achievement begins with a brave step into the unknown. Don't fear challenges, for it is in them that you will find the strength to reinvent yourself and the courage to transform your life into something extraordinary.
Jack Ma has delivered countless lessons throughout his career, but in this eye-opening speech, he reveals something truly transformative. The 10 habits that keep people trapped in poverty, habits that the wealthy consciously avoid. His words resonate deeply as he challenges us to rethink our routines and behaviors. With personal anecdotes, from multiple failures to the early struggles of building Alibaba, he shows how to turn obstacles into stepping stones for success. He dives into the dangers of staying stuck in the past, wasting time on unproductive activities, and neglecting the importance of continuous education. Jack Ma also discusses the risks of relying solely on a salary and the immense value of finding a mentor who can shorten your path to success. His insights remind us that the future belongs to those who are prepared, and that failure is not the end, but rather an opportunity to learn and grow. If you want to understand how the wealthy think and discover actionable steps to transform your life, this speech serves as your guide. The wisdom Jack Ma offers, backed by his real-world experiences, has the power to revolutionize your approach to life and business, leading you towards the success you've always dreamed of. After all, as he said, if not now, when? If not me, who? Jack Ma firmly believes that one of the biggest obstacles to success is the reluctance to embrace change. Many people hold on to old methods, convinced that what worked in the past will continue to work in the future. However, Jack Ma often emphasizes that the world is constantly evolving, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. He points out that technological innovations continuously reshape the job market, requiring individuals to learn new skills and reinvent themselves to stay relevant. Therefore, for Jack Ma, the ability to let go of the past and embrace the new is essential for those who aspire to thrive. According to Jack Ma, being stuck in the past is a costly mistake. He frequently mentions how, at the beginning of his journey, many people doubted his ideas because they were tied to an outdated business model. Jack Ma overcame these barriers by adapting and learning from the changes around him. He emphasizes that adopting an open mindset and being willing to explore new paths can prevent anyone from becoming stagnant. Updating skills and being open to learning are, in his view, fundamental steps for personal and professional growth. Jack Ma often illustrates this lesson with examples from his own life and the companies he has observed over the years. He believes that those who do not constantly seek to update and reinvent themselves will inevitably be outpaced by those who adopt new practices. Jack Ma, therefore, recommends that everyone invest in themselves, learning from past mistakes while being ready to leave old ideas behind. This, he says, is the first step to avoiding the trap of outdated habits that perpetuate cycles of stagnation. Jack Ma stresses that education is the key to escaping poverty. He passionately argues that investing in one's own education and acquiring skills the market demands are crucial steps toward a successful life. Jack Ma notes that too many people, especially as they get older, stop learning, believing that their previous education is sufficient. He insists that this mindset is a grave error as the world continues to evolve, and staying relevant requires continuous learning, regardless of age. Jack Ma's own story is a testament to this belief. He often recounts how he pursued various educational opportunities, even when his career was already taking off, to stay ahead of the curve. Jack Ma argues that the willingness to learn new things, whether through formal education, online courses, or self-study, creates pathways to success and opportunities that would otherwise be missed. He believes that learning should be a lifelong pursuit, an ongoing investment that pays dividends in both knowledge and career growth. In Jack Ma's view, not investing in education means limiting one's potential. He encourages everyone to look for skills that the job market values and to constantly upgrade their knowledge base. He even suggests reading books like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey to enhance personal development. By staying open to learning and growth, Jack Ma believes individuals can break free from limiting patterns and build a foundation for success. Jack Ma warns that time is the most valuable resource one possesses. He observes that many people fall into the habit of spending hours on meaningless entertainment or activities that add no value to their lives. According to Jack Ma, it's essential to prioritize activities that lead to personal and professional growth rather than indulging in distractions that offer no lasting benefit. He believes that how people manage their time ultimately determines their success. Reflecting on his own experiences, Jack Ma shares how he structured his time during the early days of Alibaba to maximize productivity. He avoided distractions and focused solely on activities that aligned with his goals. Jack Ma advises that instead of wasting time scrolling through social media or watching endless videos, individuals should engage in activities that improve skills or build connections. This discipline, he argues, is what sets successful people apart from the rest. Jack Ma often highlights that it's easy to fall into the trap of comfort, seeking entertainment as a way to escape responsibilities. However, he suggests that embracing productive habits, such as mindfulness or time management practices, can transform one's approach to daily life. He encourages people to see time as an investment, using it wisely to foster growth and development rather than letting it slip away in meaningless pursuits. Jack Ma emphasizes the importance of having a clear purpose, a why, that drives all actions. He states that without a clear goal, it's easy for individuals to get lost and give up when challenges arise. Jack Ma argues that a strong sense of purpose provides the motivation needed to push through difficulties and remain focused on long-term objectives. He believes that success is not just about working hard, but about knowing what one is working toward. Jack Ma often shares that having a vision for Alibaba was what kept him motivated, even when the odds were against him. He points out that many people start ventures or jobs without a clear purpose, which leads to burnout and frustration. Jack Ma encourages people to define their goals and align their daily actions with that bigger picture. For him, this alignment is the foundation of a fulfilling and successful life. To illustrate his point, Jack Ma references examples from the business world, such as Elon Musk's vision for space exploration, showing how a powerful why can drive someone to achieve what others might consider impossible. He suggests that everyone should take time to reflect on their purpose, set clear goals, and pursue them with determination. This, according to Jack Ma, is what distinguishes those who succeed from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Jack Ma strongly advocates for stepping out of one's comfort zone to achieve growth and success. He often mentions that taking risks is an integral part of building something meaningful. According to Jack Ma, staying in a comfortable and predictable space can lead to stagnation, as it limits opportunities for learning and development. He argues that it's those who dare to face uncertainty who eventually find new paths to prosperity. Jack Ma shares stories from his early days, emphasizing how he took risks, such as launching Alibaba despite widespread skepticism. He knew that staying in his comfort zone would have been easier, but he was aware that real opportunities lay beyond the familiar. Jack Ma urges people to take calculated risks, learn from failures, and adapt. He believes that each setback offers lessons that, when embraced, can be the stepping stones to long-term success. To highlight his message, Jack Ma often refers to famous entrepreneurs like Richard Branson, who are known for taking bold risks. He insists that comfort is a trap, one that prevents people from discovering their true potential. By venturing into unknown territories, individuals can gain valuable experiences and develop resilience, which are critical to breaking the cycle of poverty and reaching success. Jack Ma frequently warns against the mindset of seeking immediate rewards without considering long-term implications. He believes that focusing solely on short-term gains can be detrimental, as it often leads to decisions that sacrifice future stability and growth. Jack Ma emphasizes that sustainable success requires a long-term vision and a willingness to work toward goals that may not bring instant gratification. Reflecting on his journey with Alibaba, Jack Ma mentions how the company initially struggled to generate profits. Instead of seeking quick financial returns, he and his team focused on building a solid foundation for the future. This approach, Jack Ma suggests, is what ultimately led to the company's massive success. He encourages people to think beyond immediate results and invest in activities that bring long-term benefits, such as skill development and strategic planning. Jack Ma compares this philosophy to planting a tree. It takes time, care, and patience for the seeds to grow, but the results are worth the wait. He insists that those who prioritize quick wins over sustainable growth risk missing out on bigger opportunities. By developing an abundance mindset and focusing on long-term achievements, individuals can lay the groundwork for lasting success and financial stability. Jack Ma stresses the importance of environment when it comes to achieving success. He believes that the people one surrounds oneself with can significantly impact one's mindset and ambitions. According to Jack Ma, associating with negative or unmotivated individuals can drag a person down, reinforcing unproductive habits and limiting personal growth. He advises that one should seek out positive and ambitious individuals who inspire and challenge them to become better. Jack Ma often shares that in his early career, he made it a point to distance himself from those who doubted his vision. Instead, he chose to surround himself with like-minded individuals who believed in his mission and pushed him to achieve more. He emphasizes that it's essential to find a supportive network that encourages personal development and the pursuit of bigger goals. For Jack Ma, such a network is a crucial asset for anyone aiming to rise above mediocrity. To illustrate his point, Jack Ma references the proverb, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." He believes that to break free from negative influences, one must actively seek out those who embody success and positivity. By doing so, individuals can create a productive environment that motivates them to work toward their dreams and achieve lasting change. Now that you've uncovered the 10 habits that Jack Ma highlighted, it's time to take action. Which of these habits are holding you back from the success you desire? Every insight shared here is a chance to reshape your mindset and transform your future. What steps will you take today to better prepare for challenges, seize new opportunities, and commit to your personal growth? Share in the comments below which point resonated with you the most and how you plan to apply it in your life. Whenever you need a boost of motivation or guidance, revisit this video and remind yourself of the valuable lessons. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with more powerful lessons like these. And to continue your journey of growth, watch the next video. 10 powerful messages from Jack Ma for entrepreneurs, and discover new strategies for building the successful life you've always envisioned.